Scrubsmith, you have been challenged. You will go to Cambodia. There you will be given 5 tasks.
Oh no, she's doing it again!
Should you fail one of these tasks, we will make you do something really horrid. The more you fail, the more unpleasant it will become.
How do you know this isn't poisonous?
You have 5 days. Get going.
Cambodia. Just gone here, and frankly, I don't know much about the place. Said it's something to do with Pol Pot and the killing fields. But I have heard it's one of the most extreme countries in Southeast Asia. I've got 5 challenges to do. The more I fail, the worse my forfeit's going to be at the end of the show. So I've really got my work cut out. Bring on the challenges.
Well, maybe I'm not so tough.
Help! I'm frightened!
Challenge 1. Eat a spider.
I've always been an arachnophobe, so my normal policy with spiders is to squash them with a book. Mind you, I'd need a pretty fat dictionary to finish these ones off. And it wouldn't have gone down too well with the locals either, as this is a country where spiders are considered a delicacy. I managed to hitch a ride to the village where they catch them, about an hour outside the capital, Phnom Penh. And when we stopped, a little too suddenly for my liking, my translator Pin introduced me to the head man.
This is my spider catcher.
Yeah,
Can you ask him what happened to his leg?
he stepped on landmines.
And did it hurt?
A little bit after that, he feel itchy.
Itchy.
Yeah, he feel itchy and then he feel hurt.
Then he feels hurt.
Yeah.
Quite surprising.
After about 3 minutes.
You can look on the bright side, at least the spiders can't bite him on the leg.
Yeah.
So that...
I was taken out to a field behind the village where the spiders live underground and shown how to dig them out.
Is there an art to it? Oh, it's enormous! This is the spider that I'm going to be having for my tea. I'm sort of catching it. How hard do you squeeze it then? I don't want to just splurt it.
Yes, now he's going to die because the leg.
Okay, is it dead yet?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm halfway there. I've caught a spider, or at least helped catch one. That's good enough for me. So let's go eat, and I can finish this one off.
The traditional spider feast is created by lightly marinating the creatures in garlic and then shallow frying them in oil. Mmm.
Oh, they expand. Get very, very red. Very good. Oh, my giddy aunt.
To wash the freshly cooked spider down, the villagers like to use some palm wine.
It just smells like BO in a glass. Whatever a wooden glass is, in a wood. And what's very ironic, that he cooks spiders and now beginning to attract flies. It's not easy. Oh dear. It's got sort of white stuff inside. Let's take it. It tastes a bit like pork crackling. It's not as bad as you'd think. The legs, anyway. Oh, that's just disgusting. Oh, have a look at the inside of that thing. What is that? Is that shit?
Go inside there.
No, I'll eat the rest of the spider. I'm not eating the spider's arse. I'm not eating the spider's arse. I'll pay the forfeit. Here we go. I'm now going to eat the excrement sack of the spider. Let's have a look at what I'm about to put in my mouth. With a small squeeze. That's its anus, essentially.
The old man asks you, is nice? Is it nice?
No.
Shut the whole thing in your mouth.
Why don't you just do it with a
Still be good. Go with the beer. Close.
Thank you, people of Shatil.
Cambodia may not be as popular with tourists as its neighbour Thailand, But it's a beautiful country, and the people seem very friendly. Mind you, this wasn't always the case. Years ago, the Khmer Rouge ruled the roost, slaughtering 2 million people in their killing fields and forcing children to spy on their parents for the government.
Challenge 2. Beat Miss Cambodia in a shootout.
First, I had to find Miss Cambodia, so my translator and I popped into downtown Phnom Penh to quiz some locals.
How do you do, Monk? Can you ask this gentleman whether he's ever met a Miss Cambodia? Pin, could you ask him whether he's ever met Miss Cambodia in his monastery?
Oh, I never, because I am a monk, so I don't kill.
No sex drive?
No, yes, yes.
Does he know where I might meet Miss Cambodia? Is there a nightclub or a restaurant? Can we ask him whether he's ever sung a song for Miss Cambodia?
No,
No, he's never met one. Beautiful. Can you ask him whether he knows Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple?
I don't understand what you mean.
Never mind.
No luck with the beauty queen so far, but we did manage to find someone with even less strings on their instrument. 1. How hard can that be to learn? Then we got a lucky break. A journalist friend of Pin's found out that Miss Cambodia was working as a telly makeup girl. A couple of phone calls to the TV station and we managed to persuade her to meet us at the local shooting range.
We've got to the shooting range, which is actually part of an army camp. It's the home of the airborne. You can see their slogan there. Mess with the best, die like the rest. It's pretty shabby, lots of cows wandering around. It's not Sandhurst, let's say that. But hopefully they're going to tool us up with some AK-47s or some Uzis. We can start blasting. Let the killing commence. This is Laker, he's the paratroop gun expert. These are the weapons we're going to be choosing from. Some sort of rocket launcher it looks like, and a normal semi-automatic. I guess it's only fair that her nibs gets to hear the safety and shooting instructions as well, so I better go and see whether she's ready. Making herself beautiful. Oh my good lord. She's wearing a national costume, I think. Obviously I haven't dressed up myself, but it's not about looking beautiful, it's about weaponry. Is this actually loaded now?
Not yet.
Not loaded yet?
Yeah.
You do seem to have put a clip in there.
No.
Jesus.
No. What?
So I'm going to have a practice now. That's what I have a practice now.
Yeah.
Locked and loaded. Ready to go. Okay, you put me in the right position. We've both had a practice now. I think it's time for the competition to begin in earnest. We have 10 shots each, and the one with the highest score is the winner. Okay? I'm quite confident. She's aiming at the target on the right, yeah? This is my sort of beauty queen. Oh! Okay, I think she hit twice. Here we go. 15 in the clip and 1 in the homie. I think the trick is to imagine it's your old headmaster or an Arsenal footballer.
Salmon, he didn't agree. Probably a fan of Tony Adams.
Too low?
Yeah. Check again.
Now we check. That's the final shot. We've had 10 each. Have I beaten Miss Cambodia with an AK-47? I can't see a lot of damage on the targets, I've got to say. I can see mine, there are no holes in it. It's a disaster already, unless there's one right in the bullseye. Could be some judging difficulties here, because Samony has managed to hit her target. It's a sort of Freddie Mercury lookalike twice. Once here, up in the right shoulder, and down here on the ribs, but it's not actually on the target.
She's almost certainly put him in some sort of hospital. He's not going to be committing any more crimes, but she hasn't hit the bullseye.
Smith, on the other hand, with the Freddie Mercury, has got a 5, a 7, that's a kill. And this one here, which isn't quite... Oh, there's one there! That is 3, that is 3, and mine are better. Smith is the champion.
Does she feel sad to have lost to a fat Englishman? Dear Mr. and Mrs. Target, we regret to inform you that your son, Moustache, was killed in action by an Englishman. We're returning his body in an envelope. Thank God I'd already passed 2 challenges, because the forfeit that lay ahead was pretty grim. Drink a glass of pungent frog, snake and monkey wine. You don't need to be Jilly Goulden to imagine the bouquet.
Challenge 3. Have something for the weekend.
I'd heard that Cambodian barbers often had a brothel in the back, so I hoped that for once my challenge would be pleasurable. This place was bizarrely dedicated to John F. Kennedy. The barber gave me a simple shave, no problems there, or so I thought.
You don't understand, I wanted my face shaved, not my shoulders. He's shaving my ears. Stop! He's actually shaving my nose. The one part of me I thought he was going to leave alone. He's actually shaving my nose. No, I do not have a hairy nose. Go this way?
Yes.
Then I was led into a back room to top the experience off. I was met by a young lady, raising my hopes of some executive relief.
We've hit a language barrier. I really want to take my clothes off. Shall I take my shirt off? Would that be good? Okay.
But then it all turned nasty.
Oh, it's like sort of suction. Ow! Ow! It's like being pinched really badly. Ow! Now this really does hurt. All the skin is being sucked up into these vacuum tubes. Ow! Ah, and they're very hot. I can't move because the pain of ripping flesh. Ow! Thank you, lovely lady. Can you please remove them? Ow! God, it's like having a plaster ripped off. Oh, God, the relief. What's she doing now? Oh, what's she doing? Oh, she's doing it again! I don't believe this. I think there's no... Oh, God! Oh, it's like a really crap superhero. Glass hedgehog man. He crawls, he eats slugs. Ow! 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 Oh no, she's doing it again! Tell her to stop in Cambodian! Ow! I've just been told that this is actually some sort of cure rather than torture. If you've got headaches or fever, they do this and it's supposed to suck the bad blood up to the surface. I was in pain, but you're not a bitch anymore, you're lovely. Really, not rolling over and doing the other side. Oh! Oh! Oh my God, look at that! I'm like an enormous game of Connect 4.
Still smarting from my bruises, which incidentally didn't go down for 3 weeks, I headed back to Phnom Penh to pick up my next challenge.
Challenge 4. Win a buffalo race.
Buffalo racing's a national sport in Cambodia. Rival villages battle it out in dramatic style to win the coveted prizes. So we headed off to a small town in the north of Cambodia where there was a buffalo festival going on. A car took us inland.
This is where I'm going to be doing my buffalo racing, possibly against these young gentlemen jockeys. Everyone a Lester Piggott in the making. Hello. I'm following you. You're the English speaker. There's a massive sow over there. Can I hold your pig? Squeal like a big boy.
Well, they obviously hadn't seen Deliverance, but they seemed friendly.
Some of my buffalo fans come see the champion. Champion.
I tried some gamesmanship.
Feel that? It's buffalo champion. Buffalo champion. I must say, I love what they've done with this fence. Oh, there's a buffalo over there, I think. It's the buffalo cart, which is drawn by 2 buffaloes. I'm going to go and inspect it, make sure it's in good working order. I don't want to hear that Ben-Hur nonsense where the wheel falls off and I get crushed to death. So where do you sit? Do you sit up there? Where do you sit? There? Oh, you sit behind it. Buffalo. There we go. I've seen what you do now. You sit behind the buffalo, which I've got to say aren't going at a great lick. Mind of their own, however small. I haven't been able to choose my own buffaloes, so presumably the village boys will have picked the fastest buffaloes, and I'm going to get 2-1 set for the knacker's yard. All these people have come to see me take part in the buffalo race.
I was introduced to my co-pilot, who I was assured had won the coveted Red Buffalo Trophy 4 times.
These are my adoring fans. They've all come to see me triumph in the buffalo race against their local talent. There can only be one winner in the eyes of the people. I can't let them down.
The crowd was near fever pitch as we came under starters' orders. And they're off! Well, at least they were. Just as I supposed, I'd been given a couple of wrong uns. They seemed hell-bent on going sideways. It wasn't as if the opposition were breaking any land speed records, but I was making them look like Frankie Dettori. It was an utter humiliation. Even my adoring fans had started to go home by the time that I limped in last. To make matters worse, there wasn't a boat back to the capital for 3 days, so we had to pick our way slowly through the locals lining the road and find a cheap hotel in one of the nearby jungle towns. I dare say most travellers would be charmed by all these open-air food stalls, cheeky little monkeys and traditional toys. But as a fat Westerner who prefers 5-star luxury and air conditioning, I found it unbearable.
Challenge 5. Convince a tourist that Angkor Wat was built by the British.
Some of you may recognise this temple as a stunning example of 9th century architecture. But let's be honest, if it rings a bell at all, it's probably because you saw it in Tomb Raider.
Do you think it's any coincidence that that is exactly the same size as Lord's cricket ground? Welcome to Angkor Wat, fellas. Enjoy yourself. Notice how very, very similar to Westminster Abbey it looks.
My plan was simple. Even though this temple looks about as British as an igloo, I was going to persuade people it was actually knocked up by some of our Crusader knights who'd taken a wrong turn. Well, it could have happened, and in my experience, package tourists will believe anything you tell them so long as you keep a straight face.
It was actually built with the help of British Crusaders. Pamphlets, they're all lies. They just told you it's Cambodian. Incredibly similar to Romanesque architecture at the same time in Britain. After the Crusades, they kept going. They got to India, following the route of Alexander the Great. Angkor Wat is the only one which faces west, which is back home where they're coming from. It's got a moat, like a castle in England. British Crusader knights with the cross of St George and the European helmet and weapons. Not the curved sword of the East, but the straight sword.
The statues
Yes.
which were used here, they look like British soldiers. Have I understood it?
Yes. That was where Richard the Lionheart and Lambert Simnel had a jacuzzi together. It's a fact.
Amazingly, people seemed to believe me. They even began to see the official guidebook as a piece of communist propaganda.
By the British. More lies, more rubbish. Buddhist indeed. But is this safe?
The easiest to convince were the Japanese and Europeans, but sometimes I'd run up against some Brits.
Hello. Oh yeah. Do you realise that this is all British?
No.
They weren't so easily duped by my patriotic sales patter.
Hello. Don't be fooled by the palm trees and the snakes. This place was built by the British. The British. These guys up here with the hard hats, they're actually removing some 12th century British graffiti. It's been found under the mildew. It says, Geoffrey Chaucer does it with pigs. Perhaps libelous to the great man, but I think it should stay. Further proof. It mounts.
It was all going quite well, really, but to pass the challenge I needed someone to actually agree with me. I got close with this girl, but no cigar.
It's a theory. I know this started as a joke challenge, but I'm almost beginning to believe it myself now, especially as the local water actually features a Union Jack. Conspiracy or coincidence? You decide.
It's Cambodian.
No. See that? British. Actually looks like a map of England. There you go. Kent, over to Devon, East Anglia. So the British had a hand in building it in the 11th century. You agree with that?
Yeah,
Would you support that? Just in the cause of truth?
Yeah. Yes.
Result!
It's time to pay my forfeit. I failed one task, and as a punishment, I'm going to have to drink a glass of medicinal wine. Oh my God. Bits of rotting flesh are falling off this thing. That is some sort of monkey. That is the remains of a frog. Not the snake, it's been nicely tied into a loop. It's not quite Beatrix Potter, is it, somehow? How do you know this isn't poisonous? Well, the French eat 'em. How bad can it be? Oh.